Here are 5 reasons why your product is in production hell. 1. There are too many stakeholders taking the call on big decisions being made. Often projects are in production hell because there's no one director or there's no one direction, or there's a basis in which directors keep changing. This also leads to constant pivots, which becomes very hard for the team to keep up on. In one day you are going through one direction, another day you are going through a completely different direction. As they say, too many cooks in the kitchen spoil the broth. That is one big reason why a project can go into production hell. Number 2, there's not a clear vision, but more than that, there's no clear strategy in how to achieve that vision. Everyone can have a great idea. I mean, I can get someone from the streets right now and they can have a great idea. But there's a difference between idea and strategy. A lot of companies fail to understand that you need a cohesive strategy to get to your goal. And when you don't have a cohesive strategy, you will see a process of reverse engineering, because without having the right people in the right places, without having a mix of great experience plus great youth in the team, chances are you will get into production hell. Rule number 3. Well, maybe you have a director who's extremely stubborn and does not really take feedback. This is common, and me being a director myself, I've seen this quite often too. Sometimes you have a director who's very stubborn about taking feedback to the point where it's harming the project. However, the environment that is created is no one can say no to the director. So you create an environment where there are lots of yes men and women who ideally don't believe in the vision or believe in the project, but yet go on and do these projects because they have to earn a living. What happens after 2 to 3 years? After 2 to 3 years, a company realizes that this vision of a director was actually the wrong way forward. The amount of time and resources were wasted on it was actually not really delivering anything good. You went into a process of sunken cost fallacy where you invested so much in this one director or even one producer, and you wanted it to work so desperately that now you have to completely shell the project. Number 4, a lack of trust. Now this is something that a team will feel. You might have a lot of town halls, you might have a lot of meetings where you say you trust the team completely, you believe in the team completely, but a team knows when you don't trust them. And when you don't trust a team, you will constantly be asking about their progress. You'll constantly be monitoring them. You might even end up micromanaging them. This leads to a lot of backlash from the team too. Now the team is not as motivated as they have before, and they're always starting to look for different jobs. This is a pitfall a lot of organizations fall into, especially in the beginning of a product, where especially a goal might not be as clear, or to materialize that goal there might be several steps taken in an iterative process. Like what I always say, iterate fast, iterate dirty. You might be seeing products, initially at least, which don't really work, which don't really have that same awe factor that you would want, but that's all a part of the process. And finally, having the wrong leaders. It's really important that you have a mix of leaders, but especially leaders who have experience in a field. These are leaders who have actually gotten their hands dirty. They are not just talkers. It's easy to make PowerPoints, it's easy to make Excel sheets. What's really hard is to make an innovative product based on a big dream. Leaders will know when to pivot. Leaders will know when you're going down the wrong side. Leaders will also be able to predict certain processes based on their own failures and successes. It's important to hire a team with a mix of good leadership in engineering, in design, in art. This will save your team a lot of trouble.